I need help, boss.
Stands up and says it louder. He goes, I have a really big penis.
We're the NSAA. We're never serious about anything except grip ball.
I have drifted an aircraft carrier.
What?
To an extent, but you'll be out there alone as fuck. There's no.
Just bumping into people by osmosis of dopeness, you know? Welcome, everybody, to episode 47, AK 47 of the Happy Hoodlums podcast. It's your host, the Happy Hoodlum himself, Kemper Woodruff. We got Zach Sampson, the Meat Fortress, on roll call, and the boy genius himself, Mr. Josh Taylor.
Yo, yo, yo.
All right. Welcome back, boys. Welcome back. Poppy's in the middle of getting hit up for a Craigslist ad, seeing if people want to buy a Mercedes, because I had a 94 Benz E-Class, the square body, and I got to get rid of it so I can double down on my classic 97 town car. So, rearranging things, so I'm going to let y'all hit it. Anything on your guys' minds?
I mean, with cars, shoot. My truck's got a manual door lock, and I'm debating on putting some automatic locks in that bad boy.
Damn, bro, you're living in 1972 right now.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, my truck was literally made in 2010, and that shit doesn't even have automatic.
Kemper's car has automatic door locks.
I know my
Yeah.
in 77.
Nah, dude. Every time, whenever I pick someone up or whenever I take someone somewhere, basically, I just have to say, hey, see that little nub right there? You just gotta push it
Hey,
down.
hold on. This is a lesson in life right here. You ever seen the movie A Bronx Tale? I bet you haven't.
No.
I've
no.
heard of
All
it.
right.
I'm a baby.
Fucking educate yourselves, but I'm going to give you the crown jewel of it. All right? The kid goes to get into his car, and this is the test that the mobster tells him on if she's a keeper, okay? He goes, go and unlock her door first. Let her in.
Oh,
And
yeah,
if
I've seen
she
that.
doesn't
Oh,
lean
yeah.
over and
And
unlock
open your... Yeah, I have heard that.
All right?
I saw a TikTok of that, and this guy was like, if she doesn't unlock your door for you.
Yeah.
Facts.
Did you know
That
that's
is
a real
facts,
life
bro.
story, though?
Is that really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, the more you know, bro.
The more you
Yeah.
fucking know.
That dude has a great podcast. I'm spacing his name, the actor's name right now.
Okay.
So, forgive me. He's just the Don.
Yeah, I do know what you're talking about. That's kind of facts.
Josh has a fucking mustache now.
Oh, yeah.
Just going full redneck with the mullet and the mustache.
You can't really see the mullet with the...
Nah, you can see it. It's
yeah, you
there.
can see it. You can see it, sir. Yeah. Yeah, you can see it. Never mind.
You can see it.
It's yeah. Straight wearing a hat at 9:30 p.m. Yeah. In my house with a hoodie on.
You know, I'm reading this leadership book, and reading this, I'm only like maybe 50 pages in. Reading this book makes me realize how bad a lot of people are at communication and talking out through problems within a team setting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because the crazy thing is while I'm reading this book, I'm like, I do a lot of these things naturally. Right? It's like communicating through problems. And if I see an issue, I want to understand what someone's like rationale is to do that, like what they're wanting to do, what their plan is. And then asking them the questions is so that I can better understand their reasoning for what they're wanting to do or how they're wanting to do something before I try and like make them want to change their whole plan up. And a lot of people go about it the wrong way where it's like, well, why would we do it that way? Rather than being like, hey, can I explain this to me better so I can understand it more of like how you're wanting to do this? Because right now I don't understand it. And then once they explain it, then you can go through and you can start talking about like, oh, okay, I get that. What if we tried something like this here? or something like that, And so
Mhm.
I'm realizing how deep team-based communication is, and how much it can not be improved, not just for me, but for like so many people that I know within team settings. And it's fucking crazy. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm gonna call you out, Kemper, on this fucking
All right, hit me.
podcast
I
because
felt a little called
couple
out right there.
podcasts ago, you were like,
What?
"Fuck being on the same page. I love you that much." And then the whole weekend that we were gone filming the fights, which we'll talk about eventually, you were talking about be a Navy SEAL. Well, guess what Navy SEALs do, motherfucker? They communicate and they're on the same fucking page.
Whoa. That's fucked up because I know you're reading Jocko's book, and I heavily fuck with Jocko.
And he's
so
a
there's
Navy
no way-
SEAL. Fuck you.
There's no way I can't stand on that. Okay, you got me there. All right, but I'm talking about all right, faith over trust. Okay, you know what I mean?
Hey, well, speaking of being on the same page, I put a sparkling ice in the freezer before the podcast,
Go get it.
and I don't want that shit explode.
Okay, nice shorts, player. But no, man, I guess he was doing some workouts. Yeah, no, you're right on being on the same page because I think I may have fucked up like that entire podcast. So
It is what
anyone
it
that
is.
listens to it, I don't even know what the numbers are. The only reason I know this is number 47 is because we're close to getting to a year, and
Yep.
47 made me think of AK. So I don't know, but I can tell you right now, you're probably right about what you're talking about. I got a dude now saying, okay, he'll hit me up tomorrow so I can give you full concentration on this podcast. So I
Perfect.
apologize, viewers.
Well,
Your boy need a little bit of cash money.
now that I've
Um,
called you out, we
Yeah.
can now segue into what we've been doing the last 4 weeks and as to why we missed a podcast a week ago.
Oh, all right. So we've been setting up the shooting for a documentary we've been working on for Joe Aguilar for a while now. And he is a professional heavyweight boxer right now. And just doing tremendous. He's fighting out of Go Hard MMA and fitness, and he'll be on eventually for sure. But yeah, check out Jab. It's Joe Aguilar Boxing, Joey Joe 35 on Instagram. But we went to go to Medford to film his fights and stuff, and it was our first time getting to film an actual fight rather than just like sparring stuff and B-roll. And it was really a cool experience for Zach and I because it was the first time that we got to live out our dreams as filmmakers of actually going and traveling. We both watch UFC. I've been a huge fan of boxing ever since I was a kid. So to actually go and experience the behind the scenes on it and be able to be with like my brother, you know what I mean? I love his ass. So to see him and brothers, Coach Jermaine, JC, Brian
Yeah.
Sanchez,
Their whole
everybody
team
that
is
went
fucking
down there.
amazing. Their
Go
whole
Hard
team.
MMA and Fitness, the camp of all camps. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of people might not know because in Oregon we're thought of so heavily as like a wrestling centric place, right? That we really don't get the shine that we deserve for the boxers that are starting to come out. And really, Go Hard is the front runner and like the one and only camp that's doing their thing that I'm seeing out of Oregon right now. And we just happen to be near and dear to their hearts and in the camp ourselves in our own way, trying to boost them up. So take it from there, Zach. What you got to add?
Well, it was a whole different type of experience for me because I had never been to a live fighting event and shit like that. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of reservations about going because of some of my personal limitations when it comes to my vision and stuff like that. And that just comes along with most things that I do is like taking into consideration what I'll be able to do or what might hold me back. But overall, it was a fucking fantastic experience. We came out with some fucking amazing footage, and we ended up putting together some really crazy fucking promo videos for both the fighters, Brian and Joe. But yeah, it was fucking fantastic, dude.
Man,
Yeah.
I'll
It
fucking
was
say
awesome.
I'm not gonna spoil nothing, but I've seen one of these promo videos, and damn, am I proud of y'all!
Well,
Like
thank
that thing is nice, dude. Like,
that's definitely Zach's handiwork behind the keys for sure. I
oh,
gotta
dude,
give
I
it.
mean, from the camera work to the intricate little details of, I mean, even just simply where the placement of the camera is to the little placement of edits that have been made. I mean, it's phenomenal, yo. I mean, you can tell a difference between a project and like a passion project. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And it's definitely one of those passion projects, man.
Yo, you just nailed something because I was thinking the other day. So I was talking with my therapist, and I said something to her that really like stood out to me. I said, "Life is about having more to do without having to do more," and that being the primary focus of my balance, right? Because everyone knows when you're inspired to do something, things are just falling into place. And even if they aren't, it's like you're not slowed down. You're not seeing it as a roadblock. You're
Yeah, it's
just so
easy.
focused. Yeah, it's just easy. It's fun, right? And rather than like taking the motivation of dragging yourself through the dirt, you know? Um, and I think this is a great example of that really coming to life. And I think, God gives you different clues on what you're supposed to be doing by how things resonate with you and how things unfold when you do them. And there's always ways that you can do it better, which is kind of the joy of the journey. Like it doesn't stop. Um, so I already know. I'm like, all right, next time this happens, there's ways that I want to improve it, right? But out of what we've done and really what Zach put together of what we shot, man, I'm super duper proud because, to be honest, I shied away from all the camera work. I was the boom op guy when we were in film. I was that dude always. They had me
Right.
crouched under tables and on counters and all kind of shit with a boom, right? Because no one wanted to do sound, but I had half a degree in broadcast, so they taught us sound like audio engineering and that kind of stuff. So I was always more focused on like a sound story, you know.
Bro, there's a lot to do with sound, man. I mean,
Well, we had this one project that shout out to Kevin the Punisher. All right, we got to find him, get him on the podcast. But he had assigned us, each one of us in the broadcast class, a different period or like event. Say one person got like the JFK assassination, another person got like the slave trade, another person got like, just X, Y, and Z, right?
Yeah.
And we had to build this story, tell this story of this event and this time period without ever, ever, ever using a single word, only sound effects. And that project changed my whole entire mind before I ever even knew I was going to be a filmmaker, right?
Okay.
Um, just because I was like, oh shit, I don't even need words. Like if I can capture you with the essence of this environment, I got you, right? Whatever I do with the footage is just going to be a cherry on top to that reality that I just immersed you in,
Yeah.
right? Because it amazed me, dude. In the span of like an hour and a half, these people were putting together crazy shit. And yet again, I was like the bro that snuck in. I did the best that I could, but I definitely felt like technically subpar to everybody around me. But I had a mind for this shit. And I feel like I was really enjoying just the process of learning that. Then
Yeah.
we get into film, and now it's like, all right, this is the first event, and it's big to me, bro. This is a near and dear thing to my heart that I've been, working on with you for like 2+ years almost. So running the camera on that, I was like, oh shit, man. Like, I was mad nervous. So the fact that we came out with usable footage
And
from 2
and hold
cameras.
on. You also achieved a secondary thing. You
What?
you gained confidence in manual focus.
Let's go.
That's good, bro. Yo, manual focus. That shit's another world, man. Dude,
I
manual
was
focus.
running I was running autofocus like a motherfucker for the longest time, but I
Yeah.
started to get it, like I was literally laid out like, so we didn't have no press passes or
Nah.
whatever. I'm gonna give the full shebang.
Oh, for real,
I
go for
fucked up. I was in that bitch, bro, gorilla style.
it.
But I thought I was in the wrong spot, and I was like, nah, man, I'm not gonna be able to hear the corner, right?
Yeah.
Because my mic had the camera on it. So I was like, fuck. I tried to position myself inside that like ringside position
Yeah.
over by where Joe's corner was, but the boxing commissioner was over there and he caught my ass. And I was like, fuck. He's like, where's your press pass? I was like, gosh damn it. Really, I was in the spot of all spots, but we got good footage in the end. I went over there. He was like, you can't be within this little barrier. And I was like, all right, motherfucker. So I went around the like barrier, maybe like 3 feet away, and I was sitting. Thank God there were these cool drunk ass country people that had a seat open at this $1,000 table that they had rented, like ringside, and they were down to let me shoot. Everyone had backed up farther from it, so I guess they could see up into the ring a little bit better.
Yeah.
So I had the whole front of the table, and I was like leaned out over the table like this with the camera, running the camera like this for like 2 hours, bro. But I started to get it where my lower thumb was like able to
yeah.
hit the. I was like, hey, I got it. All right. Bro, I was so proud. I was
Bro.
halfway screaming for him and halfway for me. I was looking at the footage like,
Oh! Bro, you'll get to the point where you're zooming and focusing with one hand.
Well,
Oh yeah.
you just shitted on my whole game right there. But anyway, let's hear it for that ugly ass. That's the sound of victory in my world, right
Bro,
there.
I was watching back the footage from my camera and I looked at it. I was listening to it and I'm like, I had audible noises when like good things were going on, like crazy things were happening. Like I heard myself go, ooh, and shit like that. Like when Joe landed a nasty punch or some shit, I'm like, ooh, shit.
Yo, these punches were so loud though. My boy got fucking hands.
Yeah,
He hit
dude.
the dude with a body punch that sound like when you're hitting the mitts. Like when you hit mitts, it's pow, like super
A
loud.
solid
He
snap.
hit him with a straight to the body. Wow! And it was so loud. Everyone in the arena was like, fuck.
Ooh.
Like,
Yeah.
that was a stinger right
Yeah,
there.
bro.
Goodness gracious.
It was
But
crazy. It was such a fun experience.
it was awesome, man, because I've being a fan of the UFC as long as I have been, I've seen a ton of walkouts, and being able to be there like for the walkouts and everything, that was way cool.
I wish I had gone upstairs for Joe's walkout.
Yeah.
I didn't at first because I didn't know where he was going to be walking out from, and I didn't know if it was going to be visible from where I was. But if I would have been upstairs, that shit would have been so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sports, having a film job in sports, a dream, dude. I mean, I've only done baseball and hockey, and it's a different experience compared to like other film jobs.
Hockey is dope. You get some fights in
Dude,
hockey too.
I got so they have different jobs when you work on like for a hockey team. They have like
Mhm.
your typical cameras, and then they have like a switcher, like basically stuff that's going to be put on TV. but
Mhm.
also they have the guys shooting promo shit like y'all were doing this weekend. And
Mhm.
I got to do that once. And it was
Yeah.
so fun. I got to go on the ice, bro. I was like,
Oh
yo, this is
shit.
fucking so fun, dude. And I
Yeah.
just got to walk around the whole stadium, go wherever I wanted. Oh, dude, it's so
Dude,
fun.
that's the shit. Next time we're getting legit press passes, bro, because I want nobody to be able to fuck with me, bro. We're going
Oh,
in and out. But thankfully, bro, it was a lower budget event, in
Yeah.
comparison to how high budget boxing really goes. And for it being a small event, it was really cool that the people let us shoot.
Oh yeah.
Like, so shout out to the promoter people of that event because they put on a good show. Especially for a little local small venue. There were some good fights that night. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, dude, we went in there and people were having to buy their own tickets and stuff. We just stayed so close to them that no one questioned us. We were just, I don't know.
The
I
two
was just
guys
so
carrying cameras and shit following a fighter around. All right, cool.
yeah, people would ask me some shit, be like, "Where's your?" I'm just,
I don't know. I'm just following this guy.
I don't know, but I gotta catch up with the fighter, bro.
yeah, exactly, bro.
Okay, okay.
I just stayed on his hip. I was like, as long as I'm here, I know
Yeah.
fucking tip, we're good.
And then
You
eventually
know?
people just caught on to what we were doing. They're like, oh, okay, they're filming these guys. And then
Yeah,
I had one dude that was on their camera, their media team, the promotions media team, asked me what we were filming, and so I got to break it down for him and shit like that. It was pretty cool.
yeah.
Nice.
They had some nice cameras too.
They
Whoever
did.
they hired was running some legit stuff.
They had some
For
real
some
shit.
reason, the people that were on ringside were just using like little Sony handhelds. So I was like, like old school
It
media
works.
shit. Hey, fuck yeah! I mean, salute them. There's no way you could get bad footage if you got a good fight. But I was
Facts.
just like, damn, the people they had behind the scenes had like Sony's with big ass lenses on it. I
Yeah,
was like, I know that lens alone is like $3,000.
probably.
You know
Talking
what I
about that
mean?
Sony game, baby.
Yeah. But we were Panasonic down, shouty. We did what it do for
Yeah,
a
bruh.
smaller sensor.
Yeah, but Panasonic's fucking good. The GH5 is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Yeah, and our lenses are
Um,
pretty good for what the fuck they are. So
yeah,
you know.
lots of learning, especially in terms of understanding, like giving people um, what they want to see starts way ahead of, the live event or before you ever start shooting if you're doing other kinds of film work. And what I really liked about shooting a live event though, in like documentary style, is when we were there, I kind of like, you're in a square room just like any other room, right? You're like,
Yeah.
all right, there's only so many angles in here,
Yeah.
right? It's not like I got platforms and shit like that, and it's crowded.
And we were
There's
all
other teams
handheld.
of boxers all training around you right now. And at first, it was a little overwhelming to my senses,
Yeah.
And then I had to slow myself down and really go, what's important here? Like, because I know I'm in this room. What's going to be important to other people? Like, what is this story? And that's when I started doing little shit like looking at just their eyes, like just this much while a coach is taping his fighter's hands. You know, a fighter just hanging his head down while he's got his hands over the chair. These things, these moments, I was like, this is fucking iconic. And I just started looking at it, and I was like, this story that could be so big, because it's not, like Go Hard as a whole, you know, Joe may be front running on that shit, but Brian's been with him since day one,
Facts.
and has had a lot of fight experience because Brian also did MMA, you
Oh,
know,
I didn't know that. That's dope.
yeah, when he was younger. So, um, and Jermaine's had a ton of experience in his day, and JC. So just the wealth of knowledge in this camp, and just the spirit of this, it's so much bigger. There's tons of youth that are getting affected by this directly.
Yeah.
I love that about Go Hard. When I would go out there, just their kids class, and they would even like sometimes I'd just be chilling and I'd get done filming, and they'd be like, "Fuck it, get in the ring, bro, and hit pass with Coach Emmanuel." Coach Emmanuel would be going around and be, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, and if you fucked up, he'd be like squats, and then you go to the next person, and you have like fucking like 15 kids in the ring, you know, and it was just mad fun. Um, You know, Big West, if you go down there, he'll put a fucking workout on you. Big West used to be Big West. Now he's Slim West. You know what I'm saying?
He's Slim Big West.
Yeah, his biceps still the size of my fucking head.
Yeah.
But I
He's a
tell
big
you what,
dude.
it's just so fun. You know, like I've never been to such a down home gym where it feels like it's barbershop talk. You know, like when I
Yeah.
go in there, people are just on each other's heads
They're just
from the
chopping it
jump.
up the whole time.
Yeah, chopping it up, but also talking shit, you know, and
Yeah.
like it keeps you on track though. It keeps you on track because if you start fucking up, people are gonna start getting on your hat about it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like right away, I walk in, they haven't seen me in a while. Where your ass been?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, all right, you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I can't wait till we put this out. We've been working on it, and Zach's getting to laying down the storyline for the Jab documentary for Joe. Because I've been telling him, I'm like, Joe Aguilar is a motherfucking superstar. You know what I mean? Like anybody that knows him, back in high school, he used to just be chilling in the middle of the hallway like this. And I was like Ferris Bueller running all through that bitch. But I couldn't help but notice. I was like, this motherfucker just in the center of the hallway, just posted. You know, and I always loved that. You know, it was just the presence that he had, you know? And so we'll get him on here eventually, but
Eventually.
for us, that was truly they're stepping stones, and I think it comes back full circle into all of what Wonderful Entertainment and Happy Hoodlums is all about. Is that um like this podcast is a stepping stone and a milestone in someone's journey. The same way that us getting to go and film an event like that is a dream come true. It's us living a step in our dream as we're going towards it being our like everyday, you
Yeah.
know, reality type shit. And um I think the fact that our brand is about that, you know, and like being a storyteller is really like what we are as filmmakers is fucking beautiful. And I didn't really understand it because I spent so much time like, and it's all right under your nose, right?
Yeah.
Like if you put me anywhere, I'm gonna start talking and stories are gonna come out. There's a factory for them shits, but you know, like it's so you sometimes that you don't realize it, and it wasn't, especially because I didn't do a lot of camera work. Uh, I didn't really think of myself as legit as we are, right?
Yeah.
Then I see the shit that you do, and I'm like, "Woo, we legit." But, you know, really, when it comes to the editing portion, that's your shebang. But I
Yeah.
love the process of meeting people, figuring out what makes them who they are, and trying to translate that. You know, put it in a bottle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're really good at meeting people, cool people too. So it's like it shows that you love doing that because you're literally literally look at almost every single guest that's been on the podcast. Fucking great guests.
Osmosis of dopeness, bro.
Literally. That's
Oh.
the next t-shirt.
Yeah, that'd be a
Happyhoodlums.com
dope
/shop.
shirt, bro. I would
Hey,
buy
bro.
that.
You can trademark that. That's Kemp right there. Osmosis of dopeness. Maybe that's my documentary.
But yeah, bro, it was a really cool experience. It was
Mhm.
really dope.
You know, I think it really does come back to also learning value, right? Like what's valuable.
Yeah.
And we all learn it in different ways. I think film is a phenomenal way because you're, like I said, capturing those microscopic moments to tell this macro story. But other people learn it in different ways, and I think it's essential to learn it for business purposes so you can free yourself in life, you know?
Yeah.
Going back to that, like having more options, right? That's what rich feels like, in abundance, right? Abundance of time, because that's such a luxury, you know? Having options is a fucking luxury. And that's an essence that you can actually capture, you know?
Yeah.
And once you do, there's no way that you can't see your ideas as valuable. And you start looking at your life and going, all right, well, how do I want to live? Because if this is valuable to me and I treat it as such, it's valuable to someone else, inevitably.
Facts.
You know, there's someone else that thinks similarly enough to me to find value in this. So how do I go about taking this idea and transmitting it and changing it into whatever form, or putting it into a vehicle so it can go somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
And you don't always have to create the vehicle. Like, honestly, I'm realizing film shit is getting easier and easier across the board. There's so
Facts.
much stuff to help you with it. And if you have other people that are invested in it, like Josh, as soon as we hit the room, I was like, bro, we need Josh here. I was like,
Oh
dude.
yeah, dude. I mean, off the bat, I can get higher angles than y'all can. So
Yeah, you can at least get the
Sometimes
7-foot
work on.
angles.
Yeah, monkey
Yeah.
arms. I got T-Rex arms. But that's okay. You know, I was just like, man, it would be so dope just to have another camera, you know?
Yeah, it would be.
Oh, dude. I
To have
mean,
3, bro, to have 3 angles on that, it would have been fucking amazing.
Yeah. And so I just,
Gotta
I'm
move,
getting
Josh.
to a point of appreciating
I already
where I'm at,
did. Hold up.
Yeah.
you
You're
know, just
appreciating.
appreciating where I'm at, but looking at where we can make it better,
Yeah.
you know? And it really comes back to, like, when you truly value something, you want it to come across the same way that it resonates with you, you know? Like, if it's that special to you, it's like, I feel like I'm fucking you over if I don't let you know how to do this. You know, if I don't give this to you somehow. If I let you walk away and I know I got the fucking Willy Wonka ticket in my pocket, right? And I got a way to make another one, like, I know how dope the factory is, right? If I let you walk away without buying this fucking ticket, bro, I'm an asshole.
I think there's 2 ways of looking at that. Right? There's the way that you're saying. But for me, I would be like, well, if you're not asking how to make that, why would I give it to you?
I think
You should be asking, because if you're not willing to ask how to make something that you air quote want to make, you're not invested in it. When I want to learn something, I ask the question. And if someone tries to force something on me that I don't want to learn, or that I haven't learned how to ask questions about yet, I'm less likely to absorb it.
I respect that for the readiness aspect of it. But bro, the reason why I'm gonna be the most ballerific, dope ass fucking rich dude ever is I'm gonna drop dope ass shit on people that aren't expecting it. I'm gonna be like, what? I'm gonna pull up on people. I cannot wait till I'm like eating food and be like, just, if the person's cool as shit, be like, do you really like working here?
Yeah.
You don't have to work here. Then be like, what do you mean? Be like, you want to go kick it? Just drop bands on them and just go fucking kick it.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, while we're at the topic of dropping bands, I mean, shoot, maybe buy me a truck that has automatic door locks.
Buy yourself a goddamn truck that has automatic door
Let
locks.
someone drive a Ferrari or something, you know?
Yeah.
Be like, bro, what? I'm gonna do so much fun shit like that.
Word.
That's how I want to ball. Just real old school mobster shit, like fucking put $100 bills in people's like shirts with the
Yeah.
like the bellhop or whatever, and be like, "Go get yourself some nice snoo shit." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
My dad
yeah.
always tells this story, because he grew up in Jersey or Pennsylvania, one of the two. I can't
Mhm.
remember. Um, but as a kid, he remembers seeing all these mobster guys. He remembers
Mhm.
like seeing them at the bar and stuff like that. He remembers their cars and their names and shit like that. And he'll
Mhm.
always tell this story of how these guys one time hired him and his brothers. He has two brothers, one older, one younger. And they hired him to keep these kids away from the bar that these guys hung out at because those kids were throwing firecrackers into the bar.
Yeah.
So they literally, my dad remembers this guy walking around with wads of cash, rings on his hand, nice suits all the time, a new car every week. And this guy
Mhm.
fucking hires him to do security at the bar that they hang out at.
Mhm.
It's fucking crazy. It's such a, like, it's so interesting how he talks about it. Sometimes it's like, damn, bro, I can imagine this shit. Like, especially when you look at it like a movie. Like, that would be a cool scene in a movie to
Yeah.
see like kids throwing firecrackers into a bar, and then these other dudes like, hey, you three, get these kids out of here. Like, chase them off and
Yeah,
just throw
dude.
cash at the kids. Like, that's
Well, dude, that's like my mom would tell me about this dude named 5 Cent Freddy,
okay.
and
Yeah.
he owned all the nickel like candy machines and shit up and down the East Coast. He's an
Yeah.
old dude, mobster kind of guy. And so 5 Cent Freddy, whenever my mom and her like younger sisters and everybody, all the kids, when they would see him, they run up to him and he'd always give them money and have them go get candy. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Back when candy was super cheap, he'd throw
Yeah.
a couple bucks at you and be like, "Here, you guys go get candy." That to me is like, and you want to know people that do that modern day?
Mm.
Rappers, bro. Lil Boosie went to fucking Walmart, bought every fucking bike in Walmart,
Yeah.
and went back to the neighborhood and
Dude.
gave
Dude,
all the kids.
there was
Dude, he paid for
a
a kid's tuition,
there was
bro.
a
I
there was a
mean,
different dude. I don't think it was Lil Boosie. I think it was some other rapper, and I
Lil
wish
Boosie.
I wish I knew his name. But
You said,
you
hold on.
said Lil
Are we talking
Boosie,
about?
right, Kemper?
I thought he
Yeah,
said Lil
Okay.
Uzi.
No, he didn't say Lil Uzi. He said Lil
Oh.
Boosie.
yeah, but
But and maybe I'm
he's just
thinking about Lil
Boosie now.
Uzi in this. But I
Yeah.
seen a video of a rapper walking through. It was like some clothing store, some
Mhm.
store, and this kid's recording, and he's like, hey, pay for my college tuition. And then he stops and he literally
was
gets it.
easy.
Like, he asks his kids question. He's like, are you serious? Because if I'm going to do this, I want you to be
Yep.
serious about it and actually commit to it. And he got the kid's info and he fucking paid for his tuition and shit.
Mhm.
It was fucking crazy.
I think he paid for it after this at the end of the semester, but
Yeah, he probably paid. Yeah, whatever he did, however he did it,
Fucking
he did it.
insane.
And it's
Yeah,
fucking
dude,
insane. It's
that's
fucking
what you're
cool.
supposed to do. That's dope. That's inspiration.
Yeah. And like, if you got
Like
the
that's
money,
realizing your abundance, and
yeah.
your work and making a difference. Like that's fucking cool.
And if you
But
got the money and you have a way to fucking make more money, why not do that type of shit? Especially if that way is consistent, you know?
well, dude. Also, it's like, what do you fucking believe in? You know,
Yeah.
like all this stuff. We're gonna have stuff eventually, but it's almost like when you really fuck with it that hard, that's irrelevant. Like that
For
money
real.
is just a byproduct, right? Like all this stuff that the value of just being a part of what Go Hard does and the journey of our friends,
Yeah.
and seeing them and doing them a service of recording this, like that in and of itself is a kind of payment and an honor, and um it serves us to be able to have something to film, to learn our craft
For
better,
real.
you know
Dude,
and
go ahead. Sorry.
go for it. No.
No, I was just going to say, it's like, I've had this philosophy for a long time is if I have something that you need, I'm going to give it to you as long as I don't require it. Right?
Mm.
So, like, if someone has like if they're having a hard time with money, I'll be like, I'll buy your lunch. Like I've done that for all my coworkers a lot. Because a lot of my
Mhm.
coworkers are college kids and they don't have a whole lot of money. So I'm like, here, I'll buy you lunch. They'll be like, I'll pay you back. I'm like, don't even bother. Don't worry about it. It's $10. Chill. You're all right.
Yeah.
And then the same philosophy is I've given things to people, like literally things that I bought with my own money. I've been like, I don't really need this anymore. And they were talking about it. I'm like, here, you can have this.
Yeah.
Just have fun with it. Just do what you need to do with it. And just
Dude, I've given so much fucking cologne away.
You have.
Hey.
You've given me 2 or 3 bottles of cologne.
When I have my own fucking cologne company, I'm gonna be the fucking shit, son.
Yo, dude, when Zach flew out to hang out with me in South Carolina, he almost gave me a free thing of cologne that I'm pretty sure you gave
Yeah, I was gonna
him.
pass it on. I was like, dude, do you want to keep it? I can just get more. Like,
That's the way this
He's
shit
like-
goes, bro.
He's like, I know a guy, man.
he's like, I know a guy. But like the
Yeah.
crazy thing is this kid didn't wear cologne.
Nah, I still don't.
Yeah, like he doesn't wear cologne. So I'm like, dude, put this shit on and you're going to feel great. Because guess what? The first thing that this chick said about him when he went on this date with this chick after using that cologne was, you smell good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's fucking so true, dude.
I'm just doing a service out here.
And I'm just passing it forward. Pay it forward,
wait,
man.
Was this
From my
Waffle
brother.
House girl?
Yeah.
Yo,
But
dude,
Yeah.
that girl,
The
that
fact
was
that you have a girl that you know called Waffle House Girl, like that could not have been a better
dude, nah,
story.
it's just a funny story.
it's a
of
very
me and
weird,
Zach.
interesting story.
I'm pretty sure we
but
told it on here.
Because if
but-
she smelled you in a Waffle House, you know how good a fucking Waffle House smells?
Oh she smelled
It
me
was
in
in
the
the
car.
car.
100%, bro.
But
Oh, okay. I was
Dude.
gonna be like, damn, I must have gave you some good shit.
get this shit right.
It
I mean-
could have been Zach. I mean, he was in the car.
I'm at
I
Josh's
try not to
house.
give people whack shit. I want to give people like
It
if
was,
it's dope as fuck for me. Like if it's
Fuck,
hard for me to give
dude.
away,
It was like
I
that
want
Black Shadow shit. Or something like that. I don't know.
the silver
It was
shadow.
a big
Silver
bottle,
Shadow.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
like-
Davidoff.
But dude, this was hilarious because he's swiping on Tinder and he meets this chick, right? And they
Mhm.
start talking, and she was like, "We should hang out tonight," because she worked. It was actually around this time, like 2 years ago, right before
Around
COVID,
Halloween, yeah.
Oh, you were
Um,
so late.
or it was after COVID, and
You were so
um,
late.
And so he was talking to her and shit. And she was like, I work at a haunted house, so I get off really late. Let's go to Waffle House because it's open all the time, apparently.
Oh
and-
yeah.
We were talking. This was at like 11 or 12.
Yeah, it was
o'clock.
fucking late.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, just fucking go. Just go. And he's like, but I mean, I don't want to get in trouble. Like, I feel like my mom's going to freak out. She's going to wake up when she hears the car running and shit like that. And I'm
She
like, bro,
did.
fuck it. Just go. Just go. And so he gets dressed. I'm like, here, put this shit on. Trust me. And so he puts it on and shit. He goes downstairs. I literally tell him, don't put your shoes on until you get downstairs. So, because he's got like a hardwood floor and you'd hear your fucking footsteps. So he walked down the stairs with his shoes off, and you hear the car door close and it start up. And then he backs out of the
loud-ass-
driveway and he hits a fucking tree in his driveway. And so
No.
he hits this fucking tree, breaks
You
one of
were
his
so nervous.
driveway like lights, like little ones that stick in the ground and shit. Breaks
Oh,
one of
yo.
those, and his
You got some
mom comes
good-ass
into.
memory, dude.
I'm sitting just chilling on my phone in his bedroom, and his mom comes in and she's like, "Where'd Josh go?" I'm like, "Oh, I told him to go on this date with this chick," and she was like, "Okay." And she walks out of the room, and then all of a sudden, I get a text from Josh like, "Yo, come downstairs," and he's like, "My mom's freaking out. She wants you to go with me." I'm like, "Huh?" And so I get dressed. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Why don't we just let him go on the date? Because I was gonna say, all right, I was gonna say, I'll chill in your room. I'll stay quiet. I'll go downstairs or whatever and just hide or some shit. And then I didn't end up doing that, but I ended up going with him. I felt so weird too, but I just ended up chilling in the car.
Too. She was like, "There's two of you. What the fuck is going on here?"
And so it was just from that moment on, it was very weird.
Dude, you're a meat castle. Of course. She was like, "What the fuck?"
And then
we had his ass in the back.
Yeah, I was in the back seat. So, but I was behind Josh,
dude.
I was behind Josh because I didn't want to like freak her out.
Went and hung out with you guys.
Well, no.
She was cool though.
I was just like,
she sounds cool.
She was cool as fuck. But then when they got out of the fucking car dropping her off, they spent like 30 minutes making out on the front fucking porch. And I was sitting in the car. I had to pee like a motherfucker. And they were just sitting there making out on the fucking front porch for 30 minutes.
You got into Waffle House.
Bro, hey, look. The fact that she wanted, I salute you, Waffle House girl.
Yo, she definitely doesn't watch this shit, but
you're a milestone in this man's fucking boyish adventure to manhood, okay? Alright, they did some weird shit that only young dudes do. His fucking mom said so. They didn't think.
What was that girl's name?
I don't know.
Let's not say her name, okay? She's Waffle House girl.
Well, I was gonna look her up and send her a link to this podcast.
Yeah, we just gotta protect the innocent, okay? Because she was so nervous. Like, what the fuck? This ain't no fucking
dude. She's some like badass now. I don't know. Last time I seen her, she had some man, and they were fucking. She was getting tattooed out the wazoo, bro.
Fuck yeah, she was gangster as fuck. She wanted to go to Waffle House when she got off work with you.
Yeah. Yo,
that was a winning ticket right there.
The winning ticket.
No, a winning ticket.
If my mom sees this, I apologize, but she did offer to get high with her. So she was mad cool. I thought she was cool.
That's what I'm saying. She was gonna
I didn't get high with her though.
Because you were already high with me.
He's like, I was nervous before I left. Where's your fucking mailbox so I can hit it before we leave?
I really hope my mom doesn't watch this.
Bro, I don't think she watches. And if she made it to 49 seconds with 49 minutes into the podcast, she's a happy motherfucking hoodlum.
Oh yeah. Yo. If she made it that far into it, she don't care.
Yeah, she's about it.
But now when we post this and I get a text an hour after posting it, she's like, what the fuck?
On the same note of parents finding out you get high, Kemper, when he picked me up last week, he was talking to my dad in the kitchen and he just dropped the bomb that Kemper got. Like, Kemper and I did mushrooms together on my dad without me ever telling him. He's like, has Zach ever told you he did mushrooms with me?
I didn't know, man. I'm sorry. Your dad's so cool. I was just chopping up with him.
We didn't talk about it. We haven't talked about it since, but he knows.
That's how you introduce it. You just walk up to his dad and be like, "Yo, did you hear about when
it was
we
like
did acid?"
It was mid conversation. It wasn't acid.
Wait, he yelled at acid?
No,
mushrooms.
No. We were just talking about some shit, and I was like, "Did Zach ever tell you about the time that we went and did mushrooms together?" And he was like, "No." He seemed kind of like, "Why the fuck you giving my kid mushrooms?" The other half was like, "Well, what'd you do?" You know? Zach instantly was like, "Yeah, there's this guy playing music," and his dad was like, "All right, it was a safe spot, I guess."
Yeah. It was probably one of the most like the current to this date probably one of the most impactful days of my life.
Yeah, bro. It's some eye-opening shit. Like, when you understand there's other, like, dimensions of perception, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, like, dude, there was like so many different layers to what was going on, and one of the most memorable things about it was how I felt for other people, but also at the same time how people looked at certain ranges.
Mm.
So within a certain range, I could see your face, right? But once you got out of that range, it was just like nothing. It was just skin over the whole face. Like it was an NPC type thing. And only the people within this certain radius of me I'm in a tune with. Like those are the people who could literally right now directly affect my life. And I'm like, fuck. And so everyone who passed us on this path, I would see them out of the corner of my eye, and then all of a sudden they'd have a face. I'm like, oh shit. And like some people I'd feel a feeling from them. And one of the ones I remember the most is this kid. He had his headphones around his neck, and he was walking down this path, and he looked sad. He looked like he literally just needed a friend. And I was like, fuck. I wish I could I wish I had the words to say something to him right now. And I didn't, but I said it like a few minutes after he passed. I was like, dude, that kid who just walked by, he definitely looked like he needed someone to talk to.
I know, and I told you were an asshole for not talking to him.
Yeah, and I felt like shit for not talking to him. Because in the moment, dude, literally in this moment, there was a split second where I realized I had no words to be able to like what I say when I wanted to say to him. And so I was like, fuck, this kid's going to get away without me talking to him. And like that's literally what I was thinking as he walked away. And I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
You idiot, dude.
It was definitely a weird trip though, because like it was super fun. But talk about NPC shit, bro. We were up on the top of Mount Tabor, and there was this dude riding his bike around a tree. Like it wasn't an easy way. Like the tree was all on a fucking angle, and he was riding his bike around the tree. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? Dude, there was something in the air. Like, I'm so happy that you suggested we do that shit that day. Cause like, this is the thing for viewers. Okay. I did not force this on Zach.
No, this was my idea.
I've always wanted to do shrooms. And I was like, I got some shrooms. Yeah. Want to do them? And he was like, fuck yeah. I was like, all right.
No way.
The important part about that is I actually said, because we were with, it was you, me, and Miguel. Miguel's like one of my closest friends, someone who has been like a super big part of like helping me with social anxiety and shit, because him and his girlfriend will just invite me out to go do stuff with them sometimes and hang out. And so we were talking about hallucinogens, and I was like, the only people I would want to do them with is you guys, you two. And that's what made it so much better. It's because I had literally my two best friends right there, and we were able to experience it like together, and it was fucking amazing. And not only was that amazing, but the whole day leading up to it was amazing. It was sunny. We got burgers. We got fucking ice cream. We chopped it up in a park about conspiracy theories and cool, crazy movie ideas. And then we fucking went and did mushrooms. It was fucking phenomenal.
This is the thing. There was something in the air, okay? We went to Mount Tabor, and it just happened to be when we show up, there's a dude playing his music, and it wasn't shitty music. He was just one
acoustic guitar. Yeah.
Killing it, right?
Killing it.
And I was like, all right, this is going to be a dope-ass trip. And the farther up we got on Mount Tabor, it was like I took him through this like nature pathway because I know the park. And I was like, yo, this is the park that we would always come and trip at, right? So there's tons of different places. I took him through like this awesome path. So it's a half workout, half like Wonderland escape.
I was fucking gassed, bro. I was like,
oh, dude.
Shit was like
Zach
this.
told me stories about trees talking to him, bro.
I did not tell you a story about trees talking to me.
You fucking dead, dude.
Trees have their own fucking energy, though. Like
trees literally can communicate to you,
stuff, bro. Yeah, you don't even know yet.
They can communicate to each other.
He'll get it later, bro. Okay,
he'll get it later.
We get to the top of Mount Tabor, and there was like a bunch of people having a Nerf war, so they were like moving in like squads with their guns. Which awesome trip. However, someone that is a little fucking skittish sometimes, you know, when
Freaked out when you got someone going like this
I was
with
a
a
little
rifle.
wigged out
Yeah,
because I turned for a brief second and there was a dude walking with like a Nerf gun. But he
yeah,
was
that
walking
shit threw
like he
me
had,
off
like, a
too. I was like,
real
what
gun,
the
bro.
fuck?
I whipped around and I was like, oh shit, okay.
Where the fuck
Like
are you
I was about
walking
to
around with a
snatch
Nerf
this
gun?
dude the fuck up, bro.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
Josh, they were
what?
having a Nerf war in the park.
But they were
At
it was
night?
like they were
It
looking for
wasn't
each other.
nighttime.
All of them. It was
Oh,
like
Yeah,
I don't know, dusk. The sun was
yeah.
kind of
It
setting.
was getting to that point, but it wasn't nighttime. It was still bright
it was
out.
about a good little
And
bit in the afternoon, like
there
4
were
or
some
5
hippie
Yeah.
o'clock.
people. These hippie people had like strung up these like ropes
Tightrope
between
walking.
trees to
Yeah.
do tightrope walking. Like there was a ton of just like
It was
trippy shit
sick.
everywhere.
Whoa.
People playing piano on the top of the place. Like it was just people on dates. Like, and as we were coming down into the darkness, there was this whole like rave situation going on down below where people were
Lights and
sitting there.
shit. Hula
Yeah,
hoops.
with
People
lights.
throwing shit around, wearing glow sticks. Shit was crazy.
I'm telling you, it was one of those days when you do psychedelics and you're like, this was meant to happen.
It was
Like
fucking phenomenal, dude.
everyone on that same trippy wavelength was at a place to have some fucking fun. And it was way cool.
On one of the first crazy things I experienced on that, once we got in, started the walk, because getting out of the fucking car was a fucking trick and a half, first of all. But after that, the first thing that freaked me out was, so Mount Tabor has like that little pond thing right there.
The
And
reservoir.
then with the concrete barrier and then the rails, right? And I was holding on to the rails because I had to collect myself for a second because I got dizzy. And Miguel pushes on him. And like he leans against him. And my whole shit, it looked like the fence did like this. And shit fucking, I was like, dude, do not fucking do that, bro. Do not do that. Step away from the fucking rail right now. Yeah. He's like, what? I'm like, dude, the whole shit just went boom. I'm like, this can't be happening at the moment. And so I was battling with myself, my sober self and my fucking mushroom self the whole time. I was like, I had to keep telling myself stop and shit. Like, yo, stop fucking trying to ruin this. Stop trying to ruin this. I don't know why I kept saying stop, but I just had to say it for some reason.
We all have our thing, but
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like shrooms, they take that sixth sense that's like your emotional sense, right?
Yeah.
And make it your first sense. And all these other you realize the five senses that you have are just like reflections of that inner feeling, right? That you're like emanating. And they kind of accentuate that feeling to you, right? In the physical realm. And so you're sitting there and it's like, there's always going to be a point where you're like, well, I don't want to say always, but to this point in my life that I've experienced it, there's always more that you can work on. And I really think they call it like plant medicine because it's going to show you something. Like you may not, it communicates it in like a metaphorical sense and in an emotional sense, right?
Yeah. And
so
you kind of have to decipher it a little bit.
Exactly. Like part of the trip is like you're living this reality, but it's really like a metaphor in a story that you're like being told by what you're living right now. Yeah. You're just a little more conscious of it. And you're like, what the fuck does this mean? Because shit's all different.
It's literally what life lessons would look like if you could see them in the moment.
Ah, that's some dope ass shit. I wish I would have said that. See, how do you say shit in like one sentence that's like I'd take like a year to say? I don't get it.
Because I just don't talk as much as you, and I've been thinking about them for a year.
Hey,
I'm so happy you chimed in there. I was gonna be like, "Fuck you, bro."
Hey, I got one question though.
What?
Yeah.
Where's my invite? I'm ready.
I've told you to move here several times.
Bro, I ain't moving there.
Well, if you're never here, we can't invite you.
Bro, I'm chilling in the South, man.
Well, then come visit.
Hey, the South is dope. Yeah. I want to see what's up with the South. I bet y'all probably got some fucking mushrooms out there. We just don't know where they're at right now.
My dad has told me a story about when he was a kid, not a kid, but like he was a fucking hoodlum running around doing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Psilocybin mushrooms would grow in cow shit. And so they would
Yeah.
just jump into fucking cattle ranches and look through the cow shit and look for psilocybin mushrooms at night.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
It's pretty crazy.
There's a lot of mushroom harvesters. There's
Yeah.
people. I had a friend that grew some freaking mushrooms, and he would pray
Really?
over them all the time. It was
He
pretty
would
cool.
pray over them? That's an interesting tactic.
Yeah, well, I mean, everything's conscious, right? And
Yeah,
so, like,
you're right.
he's taking and he's feeding the nutrients to it, and he would meditate in the presence of it, right? And they've already proven that your electromagnetic field, your aura, your spirit emanates,
Yeah.
and so, it's no different. I tell people this all the time, like, you can walk into a fucking crazy ass like haunted house or some kind of shit, or like an insane asylum, right? If there was no sign on the door that was like, yo, this is an insane asylum, you could walk in that bitch and the walls would not hug you back. They'd be like,
Yeah.
fuck
It'd let
this.
you know.
Yeah, let you know some bullshit was going
Like
on there.
the
You'd be like,
whole feeling, literally the essence of that building feels completely different. And the crazy part
Exactly.
about that shit is I've been in a building that used to be an insane asylum but was refurbished and added on to, and that shit lingers in the whole building.
No, you gotta knock that fucking bitch down,
Yeah,
bro.
it was a
You gotta
college, bro.
out. I don't even know what you can do with that spot. You might as well fucking make it a dump.
Yeah, literally.
I think that
It's just
might be the
dumb.
best thing,
That
just
earth
shut
is
it
tainted.
down. It's fucked up, man.
It's tainted.
That's yeah. I don't know who yeah.
Bad energy fucking lingers.
So that's why it's like good energy though, like you cultivate that good when you walk in my mom's house, fucking you feel at home. Like
Yeah,
you're like, damn,
literally,
it
you
like
have no
hugs,
reason. You have no other reason to feel like you aren't welcome. You have
dude.
no
Yeah,
reason.
yeah.
It's
You gotta
fucking
be an
phenomenal.
asshole.
You'll walk into the kitchen. If Reno's in there, he's already like dropping some fucking wacky joke or fucking wisdom on you. Like he'll drop a joke that takes me 30 seconds to comprehend, and then I can laugh at it because I didn't catch it at first. I'm like, oh, that was funny. Damn it, I
Yeah.
wish I laughed in the moment. And it's like, even when
But
you're like, yeah, it's fucking amazing.
shrooms, bro. Like, there's people that play like one of the old school shits is like you play music for your plants,
Yeah,
Like a lot of weed growers used to leave music on,
Bro.
and they showed there's a dude. I've mentioned this on the podcast before. He came out with an object called the Crescograph, which was it won, I believe, a Nobel Peace Prize for this discovery. It was an Indian gentleman back in the early 1900s because he was showing essentially that like using this Crescograph, which was a kind of like tuning fork type thing, that plants had consciousness,
yeah,
and he would use it on the plants and then show them under a microscope, or like you could see them wither or change. And so yeah, a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's hippy dippy shit." No, it ain't. Well, yeah, it is.
I
But
mean, it's literal
it's
science.
hippie stuff, but it's
Yeah,
dope.
like,
It's real.
well, dude, like, trees can communicate. Like, oak trees can send messages to each other to warn them about caterpillars eating them. So they'll change their profile, their flavor profiles, so that the caterpillars don't eat them. All over the forest. And the crazy part about that is, um, the scientists took the sound of a caterpillar eating and played it for them, and they still changed their flavor profiles. Just the
That's
sound.
crazy.
Yeah. It's amazing. And then not only can they do that, but a healthy, strong a tree can send nutrients to a small, young, like struggling tree.
Yeah.
That is so dope.
Like
Yeah.
there's a bunch of big trees and then there's that little one that doesn't get sun. They like send nutrients to it. It's kind of
But the crazy part is, and here's how it all wraps back to mushrooms, mycelium
fuck.
connects everything together. So through the mycelium, the trees are able to send those
Relay that
nutrients.
message.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the message. And so like the mushroom's not the plant. The mushroom is the delivery system to spread the mycelium. It's just a byproduct of what mycelium is, which
Well, also-
which is something crazy I'm about to drop. That shit can live in a vacuum, which means that shit is literally the one thing that could survive in outer space by itself.
Yeah.
So it can transverse fucking planets. It's fucking
Think about
crazy.
this. Okay, since you want to be Mr. Scientific, dimethyltryptamine (DMT), right, is mad close to what is in psilocybin mushrooms, right?
Yeah,
And
and we
so
produce DMT.
exactly. And if you do DMT, you see some shit like this, and you be like, you look at some Alex Gray shit, and then you see
Yeah.
fucking Guardians of the Galaxy, and you're like, yo, I get it. Hey, I think it was the New York Times that had a really interesting article talking about um, black holes and physics, right?
Yeah.
And how basically consciousness can affect what's inside of a wormhole. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
To a certain extent. And so, yeah, it was pretty interesting. It was a little above my pay grade, to be honest.
Okay.
But I was reading it, and it was really interesting, talking about how Albert Einstein wasn't necessarily wrong, but because he came out with like two different theories.
Yeah.
But they're talking about like a synchronistic universe where it's not only like causation, which is like the physics realm, but it's also like acausal, which is like the ethereal realm, where it doesn't take a physical energy to move um, and cause an event, right? Which goes into like physics, talking about atoms being able to be in two places at the same time, right?
Okay, well now we're getting into a realm of understanding that I don't. So I'm gonna get real
Yeah.
quiet if you keep going down this road.
It's too much. What he was saying is that what's inside of the wormhole, right?
Yeah.
If you think about it, like it can also exist outside of it. And so they were talking about being able to travel through different dimensions, I guess.
Okay.
So you think there's like a universe within black holes, basically, or
That's
wormholes?
kind of what they're saying, but I think more than anything, when you really start to tear at that, you're getting a physical or scientific understanding of how we can exist in a spirit realm outside of this, right? And that we are not necessarily, although this body is like the manifestation of our spirit
Yeah.
right now, right? We can also exist elsewhere too.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, it sounds crazy, but it isn't. Like,
I had a
So
super. Go ahead, Josh.
when you say we could exist, so are you speaking like teleportation, or like literally like our body will be like I could be sitting here, but my spirit is like
And maybe alternate
well,
universe type shit,
what?
I
extra
think
dimension type shit.
Oh,
kind
like
of
a
like,
version 2 of me?
hold on. How is it that you can actually close your eyes and still see something?
Memory.
I don't. It's black.
No, I mean like you can if you thought about something
Oh,
from your past, right?
oh. Okay, hold up. Let me think of Waffle House Girl for a
It's
second. Let me
memory.
imagine this story. Okay.
You're kind of there and here, right?
Yeah.
Like that's trippy, right? So who
I
are?
mean, I'm not there. I mean, I'm thinking
This
of
is
it.
where it sounds stupid to other people because I might not have the ability to articulate this well enough. But it's like, so who are you really? Like, is Josh
Josh.
Taylor just his body?
No, I've literally had a similar conversation to Josh. I was like, dude, our bodies aren't what's right here, bruh. Like that's not us. What is us is the electrical signals and shit going on from our brain, which is in our skull, which is us, and then which is communicating the rest of this, operating the fucking fingers and arms and shit.
Yeah.
We're literally just like the CPU in a fucking computer. It's like we're the brain of this shit, and we're just making the rest of the parts move.
But you know something that I learned
The
today?
brain's actually the motherboard, but
Whatever,
continue.
motherboard, doesn't matter.
So there's like 3 levels of consciousness, right? That exist within us. So
Off
like
sleep and power.
the subconscious is like it contains all of the memories from our past
The
lives,
cache.
but the fear-based ones, right? And then so that's like all the like ego shit. It exists like all the hangups in your ego that exists in your subconscious, right?
Yeah.
Your super conscious is all of that memory, right? Of everything that you are, but all the loving memories of it, right?
Yeah.
Up to this point. And then your consciousness is like this state that you're in right now.
Yeah. Josh just caught on to my reference, my computer reference to what you were talking about.
Nah, I'm laughing at you because of all these computer references you're making. And I thought it was so funny how subtle you just go, the V cache.
I didn't say Vcache, I just said the cache.
Cache. Yeah, well, yeah, I caught on. I'm like, bro.
But yeah, basically you're just you have backups of all the things that are necessary to understand. And we've talked about this too specifically. That makes a lot of sense when you realize that scientists have literally proven that DNA can be used as storage devices for information. And they've literally
Wonder how many terabytes my DNA is.
The crazy thing is they've put
if you're only
like
terabyte, you're like fucking retarded. What the fuck?
yeah, if you're only
Oh,
1,000
damn, bro.
gigs, like you're fucking
Dude,
stupid.
I'm like,
what?
dude, I'm like 32 gigabytes on a good day.
But like that's what I'm saying is like what you're saying, Kemper, is where memories and shit are stored and things are remembered. It makes so much sense because our DNA can literally hold information.
Yeah, that is insane.
We're basically walking hard drives. We just have to tap into the cache.
Yeah, I'm just an object, bro. I'm just a walking hard drive.
The human brain is the most powerful computer on the planet.
Hold up.
Yo, I don't. So hold up. Sorry. He just said it's the most powerful.
Don't hold up my hold up. I'm just.
No, I'm
hold up.
Hold up your hold up for my hold up. Because why would Elon Musk be inventing Neuralink if our brains were the most
because
powerful computer?
Because the way he's explained it on Joe Rogan several times, but the only way that I can explain it is he's trying to increase the bandwidth of consciousness, right? The speed in which we can communicate, the speed in which we can access information, the speed, the efficiency in which we can communicate. Because if you can just read someone's mind, you completely negate the nuances of their language, and you can communicate in a way where you're not going to misunderstand each other. But his thing is like
more consistency to telepathy.
Yeah, but what he's also doing is Neuralink isn't even necessarily going to be used for increasing the bandwidth at first.
Yeah.
Their first applications of it is actually going to be for disabilities, to relink the spine, for like paralyzed people. Yeah, so like they're going to help be able to send those electrical signals that need to be sent in order to move their legs again potentially, or their arm or something like that. and so that's kind of like their
It's-
first
it's-
like shot
It's
at
kind of like
what
a
it.
prosthetic in a way.
I
It's
mean,
like
I
an
guess,
internal
yeah,
prosthetic,
but like
I guess.
they've tested
Wow.
this with there's a video of a monkey playing a game, and it's a game of
Yeah.
Pong, so it's a super easy game to play. But every time the monkey
To
hits the ball, it gets like a little like drink of banana smoothie,
Yeah. And they're
and
recording all this.
and he's playing first on a joystick, and then it cuts, and the monkey's not playing with a joystick, but is still moving the Pong thing up and down and hitting it because
just
they recorded the monkey's like electrical brain signals from every time he went up with the joystick and down with the joystick, and then coded that into the game, and every time he thought of it, it did it.
Wow.
Fucking
That's
crazy.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
What the fuck is Elon Musk doing? That guy must be fun to hang out with.
Yeah. And he's got
But-
like 7 of those types of things going on at once.
He's fucking dope.
Yeah. He's an
dope.
alien.
You know, I used to be like super hating on that, and now I'm like, if it's gonna be, it's gonna be.
Yeah,
You know,
may as well
I'm
think it's
kind of
cool.
like maybe people. It's kind of like I don't know. So, say someone is like mentally retarded and they're just fascinated with this ball,
Yeah.
right? And anytime you take away this fucking ball from them, they're gonna freak out. I gotta laugh at this, but they're just gonna freak out if you take away the ball. But on some real shit, right? Like someone could look at that and feel like, yo, that's a fucked up existence. But is it? Like, really? Like, all they need is a ball to be happy as fuck.
Yeah.
You know, like, what if that's an aspect of human existence that we come to live, right? So that way we can understand different emotive things, right? That actually progress our consciousness. And what if this isn't the only life? So this isn't the only body. So is that really an L or a dub?
Word.
You know, maybe it's a L that you see that person as less than because they just want this fucking ball. Like, what if
Whoa,
I just
dude.
wanted a fucking ball?
You want to know what's crazy?
Yeah.
Would
What's
you
the
think I'm a
difference
fucking
between-
dickhead if, like, you just smack the ball out of my hand? I'm like, and then I fucking go and get the ball. I'm like, hey, fucker, I just want this fucking ball.
Yeah.
You know, as long as I got the ball, it's okay,
Dude.
right?
I seen a video on Instagram
Speaking
this
of
morning.
balls,
Fucking weirdo.
Don't say that while you're wearing short shorts. Okay?
Yeah. I got concerned for a second. I thought I was gonna have to blur out your section of the screen and shit.
fuck
And
is
like,
my bad.
but I
They're
seen
not
this,
short shorts. They're the hoochie
Podcast.
daddies.
With a little
Get it
European real quick, you know?
I seen this video on Instagram this morning, and it was the caption was, "I hope you are as happy as this little kid finding a second ball." And it's this little kid sitting at a fountain holding the red ball, and he's like splashing his hand. He's like looking one direction, and all of a sudden, this other red ball floats up to his hand. He grabs it, and he goes, "Ah!" And it's fucking amazing. I'm like, oh my god, that is so adorable. And it's like, it's awesome that he can be as happy as he is with just 2 balls, like you're describing. It's like that's all he needed in that moment to be as happy as possible.
So we're talking about simplicity. Now let's make this shit complex because have y'all seen what the fuck is going down in like Japan with these cats and shit on Instagram where they have like cats working day jobs or like they have these cats in like a house. You know what I'm saying? And they got like they're like playing house but with cats.
What?
Yo, you gotta see this
Dude.
shit, bro. Hold on, let me see.
Japan's on lockdown from missiles being shot over them, and this man's worried about cats.
What the fuck? Is that for real?
What?
Where are these fucking Japanese cats at, bro?
Just cats.
Cats.
Wait, yo, hold up. Yo, crazy dot. Do animals have an ethnicity? Like I know they have a breed, but like, is there like
They got an
No,
origin.
because I mean, I would assume, right? The
Like, is
way
there a
that
Japanese
a lot
bulldog?
of people describe
Hold up.
ethnicity is, it's like a culture, right? There's a species, right? There's a subspecies, there's a breed, but like ethnicity, I feel like is like something that you experience. It's like for the most part, all dogs can communicate with each other.
All dogs go to heaven.
All right.
Oh my
But
gosh, there's a Japanese bulldog.
Hold
okay, you're
on,
getting
dude.
caught up
Let
on
me-
a random fucking detail of your whole
I-
conversation.
My bad.
I gotta figure out where these fucking cats are at because I've seen some shit that I can't unsee now.
Well,
And
I think the
just
viewers
need
might just have
someone-
to look for that on their own if you can't find it.
Well, I want to give a shout out to this fucking channel because they go the extra mile for these cats.
Oh my
These
god.
cats are living their best life, bro. I'm telling you. No. But when I saw it, I was like, what the fuck? They got cats playing house right now? Like,
Yeah.
they had a dog in a bakery earlier today. I don't know what be on my Instagram feed anymore.
Goodyear liked history, bro.
How the fuck? See,
Oh
this
my
is how I
goodness.
know that you guys are on some next level shit. How do I go to my liked history?
Go to your
You're
profile.
on Instagram?
Go to your profile.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. At the bottom right, click your profile.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the three
And then
lines
at the top right, there's 3 lines.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go to settings,
Okay.
and then you can just search history, account history.
Oh,
But I don't know what they
Oh my goodness! Whoa. Never mind.
cat-
My
they don't
fault,
got
bro.
nothing about cats on here, bro.
all right, we might just need to move on
on.
from that.
Well, you guys can.
Oh, your activity. There you go. Yeah. So go to your profile, 3 lines. Your activity. It's the second one, and then there's
Nah, man, that's whack shit.
and then you click interactions, and then you click likes. There you go.
Okay.
There you go, baby.
It's amazing how much shit I wind up liking in a day. I need to slow the fuck down on my Instagram shit.
Dude, it's insane how much stuff you can like in like 2 hours.
I don't like a whole lot of shit on Instagram. I just scroll. I'm just like, meh. If I like
Oh.
something, I'm like, I like that, but I'm not gonna like it.
Most of my feed's just me liking like big booty Latinas.
Yeah, probably.
That's about it.
I
Yeah.
can respect that.
I can respect that.
It took me a while to realize how shallow I was until I looked at my Instagram feed. Like,
Yeah, you're like, oh my god, it's all ass.
I was like watches and fucking vacation homes and supermodels, but trippy shit, bunch of Hindu people.
Like,
Yeah.
damn, this is a feed of my life right here.
It kind of is like what you want is what you're gonna follow on Instagram.
Hold up, this is a
Alright,
pretty good
shit.
example.
Let me
of
go through
some of the
mine
shit-
then.
This is some of the shit that they be doing. Okay.
Yo.
Who is doing
Turn
this?
your brightness down. Turn your brightness
Oh, I
down.
just turned it up. Gosh damn it.
Come on, bro.
He's got these little guys just.
Wait, what the fuck?
Do you see that?
That's so
Yeah,
weird,
what-
bro.
Those
Why?
actual people? Hold up.
No, they're like
Whoa.
little
Oh
army
my
men.
goodness. Are those actual people? Hold up.
Little wind up army men. You know what I'm saying?
4-inch
But
people next to a fucking house cat.
that was just a big ass cat, bro. You don't understand.
Yeah, bro. Massive.
But these cats out here are just on a whole nother level.
Well, shout the fucking channel out so that we know, because that's what you wanted to do.
I'll have to find it.
Oh, I thought
This
that
is-
was it.
Dude,
No,
mine
this
is just like
stressful.
Oh.
They were doing
Ash.
way cooler shit than that.
my feed's just ass and like motivational shit. That's
Well,
about it.
ass is pretty motivational.
Truly, honestly,
Facts.
real talk.
It's so motivational. Once you get laid, you can't just
I
accept
mean, yo,
life
I'm gonna
without it.
send y'all this video. Like, tell me how motivational that is.
I'm not gonna look at it right now because I
I'm
don't
just
want
trying
I
to
don't want
find-
this to turn
alright.
into an us being on fucking Instagram podcast.
Well, that's pretty much where we're at right now. This is
Yeah,
this
bro,
is
this is the most
great-
minor thing. We gotta move on. It's fucking
great-
Japanese cats on a house. What is this? Is like the least important thing I've ever spent this much time on.
You don't know how.
I'm
Like-
still playing with my ball.
Okay, because we're talking about evolution, and this shit fucked me up. Okay,
God damn it, bro.
I didn't know cats knew how to do this shit.
I don't want to spend 10 minutes waiting on this answer.
Look, this might be about the time that we just gotta wrap this puppy up.
Probably. You're
And I'm
probably
gonna
right.
find this shit and I'm gonna give it to you, and I'll probably find it 2 minutes after I get off this. It seems like
Yep.
my feed keeps changing. I know I don't look at this many gemstones and rocks and shit.
All right,
That's-
crystal
I'm a
girl.
fucking hippie, you know what I mean?
All right, so we calling it
Now you're. A
I think
crystal
we're
girl.
calling it. That's
All right.
AK-47. Okay, we're out. We'll catch you
AK-47.
next week.
The Chopper episode. All right, guys. Peace out.